Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to look at NFL Fantasy for Week 12 and our dream team on Sportsdeck. So an okay week, well, I guess a good week when you look at the score number, 599. Only 300 ranked for the round. There was some big scores and this could have been actually a bit more if we'd made a couple of different moves, which is a bit frustrating. But we'll have a look at the team and how they went and where it went wrong, and we'll go from there. So the captaincy was a pretty good call with Jalen Hurts. So I think 5 touchdowns between his 3 passing and 2 rushing, or 2 passing, 3 rushing. I think it was 3 passing. So a really good week for him. Mahomes scored a 40. We traded him in a week early for Josh Allen. But unfortunately, Josh Allen went absolutely off as well in the game against Philly. So we left some points on the table there, which is a bit frustrating. Will Levis, he's going to play a role. He was originally going to play a role for us this week, but, he's now just bench fodder, essentially. Christian McCaffrey, carving up again, 56. Austin Eckler's been on the slide. Don't know what's going on there. But averaging 26 is a bit underwhelming. Still one of the better performed running backs, to be fair, but just, I guess, on form. If we can move him on, we would, but with 2 trades left, I don't think we can afford to. Saquon with 11 wasn't the best week for him. Jonathan Taylor with 42 was nice. But I guess the other one that hurt us was Kyron Williams with 70 on the bench. I think he had 2 touchdowns, 200 plus all-purpose yards. So it's a pretty easy move this week to bring him in for Saquon. And Jerome Ford, he's doing his job, keeping the points ticking over. Our wide receivers, so a solid week across the board, including even our reserves. So Lamb with the 30 was good. Keenan Allen with 31 was good. Tyreek Hill with 40, that's what he's averaging. It's pretty ridiculous. AJ Brown with 24, considering Devonta Smith got 40, you'd like a little bit more. Diggs with a 32 and Debo with 37. And again, it's a pretty easy move this week, considering Diggs and Flowers are both out. Kelsey and Laporta both scoring well. Musgrave out with concussion, but I think he should be back. I think it was concussion. I've gone off early on that, but should be back this week. Jake Moody outscored by Aubrey, and the Dallas defense was pretty solid. The Bears were pretty good this week too. In what was today's game, I guess recording this on Tuesday afternoon, against the Vikings. So, it evened out there anyway, whichever way you sort of sliced that. So we're not sure what's happened with the can't think of what it's called now. Break evens. So not going to worry about them. I think most people will be in a similar sort of boat with not a lot of trades. But we will have a look through the games to try and pick out some of the key scorers, matches. So I guess going all the way back to Thanksgiving with Detroit and Green Bay. So Jordan Love continues to go well as that cheap quarterback option. I think only CJ Stroud would probably be higher than Love in terms of all the rookies. And he was a popular pick, so I think if you had him, you've done all right. Montgomery was solid. Laporta we've talked about. Christian Watson looks like he's be his best game for the season. There, Dallas carved up Washington, so Dak Prescott has been really good. If you've got him, you're doing well. Tony Pollard, I think that's his best score for the season. Brandon Cooks, he's just riding the wave at the moment. And in a well-beaten side, Sam Howell is still pretty solid. So shout out to my man Sam Howell. Debo and Christian McCaffrey top scored for the Niners, which is pretty nice to have both of them. Defense was good. Kicker top scoring for Seattle probably says it all on that end of it. Miami, so Raheem Mostert, the defense scored well. Tua was a bit low considering I guess Tyreek did well, so that's interesting. Looks like A Chain missed out again, so slowly just bringing him back in to the fold. And the Jets, I guess the change of quarterback with Boyle didn't really help too much, but against such a high octane attack, it's probably hard to keep pace with their scoring anyway. Atlanta beating New Orleans, so Bijan getting a touchdown, he's scoring 50. That's what I guess we were waiting for all season. Um, on the Saints side of things, the kicker scoring all 15 points will probably help get 38. Olave was alright, and Kamara scoring a few, but yeah, not enough to get over and get the win. The Bengals and the Steelers, so Pat Fryermuth was good. Najee Harris got a touchdown. I was a bit filthy. It wasn't Jalen Warren. Played him in my redraft league this week and left Gabe Davis on the bench as it turned out. So um, on the Cincinnati rather side, not too much to report there. Browning was okay, but 10 points suggests that they're going to struggle for the rest of the season. In saying that, Pittsburgh is a pretty solid defense. Jacksonville beating Houston, so the two QBs, Stroud and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has been really good the last couple of weeks, but CJ Stroud's been good all season. So good support from Ridley and Nico Collins respectively. So Jacksonville up in a tight one. We've already talked about JT. Minshew was solid enough. Pittman Jr. was okay. Mike Evans was good for Tampa. Can't imagine there'll be too much here. Ramondre Stevenson with 37 top scored. But the fact that defense was second highest scorer for both teams probably tells you all you need to know there. Another low scoring affair with Tennessee. I think Derrick Henry scored both touchdowns, so got himself up to 40, which was nice. Chuba Hubbard, I'm guessing, scored the touchdown for Carolina. So he's been an okay running back option at a good price. Kyron Williams, we talked about. Stafford was good. Cup still struggling. Kyler Murray solid, but obviously quite expensive, so um, not much else to talk about there. Denver's revival continues. Russell Wilson was solid. The defense was good, apparently, according to the score. That seems to be about it from that game. Anymore we got, so must just be the later games now. So Josh Jacobs was good with the 41. Jacoby Myers with the 33. And O'Connell with 27. So as a cheapie, he's worked out to be okay. I think probably the best cheapie. I know I got talked out of it at the last minute and went with the Bears backup. But yeah, this is the reason why I was interested in O'Connell. Is it looked like he could take over and become the number one man there at Las Vegas. He's got weapons like Devontae Adams, Myers, Jacobs to work with, so it's not the worst team. Just they've got a few issues they've got to iron out, I guess. Before Kansas City, Pacheco was really good. Rashi Rice was good. Mahomes solid. We brought him in. Kelsey was good. The rest not worth talking about. So yeah, so I guess this is what we were talking about. Josh Allen with the 81. So we had Mahomes. We left 40 points out there by making that trade early. Gabe Davis, as I said, he let me down in the redraft league in the sense of actually doing something this week. I thought Shakir had sort of pushed his way towards the wide receiver too, but clearly did not read that situation correctly. And I guess also in my redraft league, I do have the Eagles defense, so that didn't help, dropping 34 points on them. But I think everyone else we've talked about there. Chargers and the Ravens. So talked about Flowers and Allen already. Baltimore's defense is pretty good. Lamar was okay. Herbert was okay. And in this game, I can't imagine too much out of it. DJ Moore did get that big passing um, play. That's right. Santos kicked all the points for Chicago. I was trying to think if it was a touchdown, but the only touchdown was Hawkinson late. So again, the defenses were high up on the scoring list there. So we've looked at all the games. I guess have a look at the head-to-heads. So top scored again this week, which is always nice. But the bin chicken's doing all right. Maybe that they actually started doing something. Nope, still just the auto emergencies here, there, everywhere. Just looks like picks like Garrett Wilson and Christian Watson went all right. Calvin Ridley, so just a bit of luck, I suppose. But $5 footlong continuing to do well. VC McCaffrey, nice. Cool. So Austin's hecklers, what did they do this week? Captain McCaffrey. So I guess having Hurts as captain didn't help them. And Hurts scoring 70 while Herbert scored 28. That probably was the difference. Tight one with Wacko Jacko beating Dropping Dimes. So who was the captain? Oh, so McCaffrey vice captain. I think maybe that was the difference. Yeah, so going the captaincy on Justin Herbert didn't work out. And yeah, that looks pretty tight across the board. Cooper Cup as well, probably hurting there. Um, and son of Brady getting a win over Timmy's caddy. And so again, Captain McCaffrey over Captain Herbert. A lot of people on Justin Herbert in this league. Pretty interesting. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but I think there's just better options. Did have Josh Allen though, which is nice. Oh, so that was son of Brady, yeah. So I guess left some points on the table with his captaincy option. But again, I traded him out, so I didn't think he was going to score 80 this week. But I think I pretty much just went through and did this week's trades and moves. Obviously, no trades, there's only two left. The fact that we can start a team this week. Um, and, I think for people who do have Allen, got to make a decision whether you hold or you go to someone like a Mahomes. There is two trades, so there is a world where you could potentially bring Allen back, but depends on his price actually. Yeah, so I'm priced out of that at the moment, and he'll only go up in price after an 81, you'd think. So not worth worrying about for me, but might be a play for someone else out there. But I suppose because we do have a few on buy this week, we could have a proper look at the loophole. Um, it'll be a tight one with Philly playing San Fran, so I guess that sort of takes McCaffrey out of it. Do we trust Mahomes against Green Bay? Um, yeah, I think just with the way things are going, I might just stick with Jalen Hurts. He's been my ride or die since the start of my fantasy football journey a couple of years ago. Um, it hurt every time I was captaining Josh Allen, just the way the draw worked out. But I think it's Jalen's time, so going to leave the C on him. VC on Mahomes, not that it particularly matters. I guess in case of him not getting up and playing. I guess there is a bit of a crazy argument given how much Seattle's struggling for like VCing the Dallas defense. You know, especially playing at AT&T Stadium, they've been destroying teams there. But I'm not that brave. But what I will do is I will bring in Aubrey as a kicker. Just realised with that matchup much nicer than Philly, I think. Although Buffalo win all right against them. Tyreek Hill against Washington, that's going to be a bit of a shootout. But no, again, not that brave. Just play conservative, I think, with Jalen Hurts this week. So can't get the full team in, so we'll just leave it with this. And as always, if you've got any comments or thoughts on the team or questions about your team, feel free to get them in the comment section below. If you enjoy the NFL content, remember give us a like, subscribe to the channel for all the fantasy content, and other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.